Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel where I build SwiftUI apps live. Um, Nothing's pre-prepared, nothing's pre-cooked. It's completely live thinking. And thank you so much for joining me again today. We've been working on a timer app in Xcode beta for the Xcode 14 is coming out in the fall with iOS 16. So we're getting an app ready to try out some of the new features. Of course, there's plenty of old features to play with too in the meantime. Um, so we have let's see if we can get this real quick. A timer app that shows timers. And yesterday we split them into running versus, ready timers. But we were using fake data. I hate this bug. Okay, well, I guess it's the way. So we're using fake data here um, just to show something to work with to get the UI right. And yeah, so we need to actually write a real query now to wire this up. And yesterday we wrote active uh, an active timers query, and the test for that worked pretty easily. Sure, taking its time here. And then we started writing a query for to show the ready timers. This one was a little bit more of a wrinkle. Um, and it seems that what we want to do is there's the test pass is we want to first get all the running timer IDs and then separate out those IDs uh, from those. So maybe it's something more like we could do like a sub select. We want select star from timer where timer dot ID is not in. Then we'd write a select here. Select ID from timer join on run, just like before. I guess so. Will this work? Will this get all the running timers and all the inactive timers? Let's go to our test. Put in a random number there. As long as it's not 0, we should be fine. We got an error. Videos column name ID. Sure. Run it again. 5 is not equal to 80. Is it the right 5 though? I guess we'll maybe inspect the results. Result dot. Let's get all the IDs, I suppose. And those should equal. We can look at our fixture data and decide which ones it's supposed to be. I guess everything except for ramen and dumpling. That's one. Ooh, this is not good. I think that got all the time. I guess we can now or at least not failing to compile that SQL query. So we can copy in the fixtures that we want. We can say timer.pizza.id. Which other ones should be in the ready column? Uh, so I have pizza, pork shoulder, and chicken. And perhaps we'll make a set out of these. Um, doesn't really matter the order. Oof, these are these are kind of hard to read. Maybe we should go by the name. They're fixtures, so I'm not worried about collisions here. Okay, this really should be 3 because in our fixtures we have a completed run for pizza, so that's currently ready. Our ramen we're getting really soggy noodles. This one's active. Pork shoulder and chicken and pizza should be 3. So I guess our query is still a little off. Um, is uh, this is more complicated than I was expecting. Um, so does that mean that this query? I guess we can do. Is this query not working? I guess we can run a test with this query. Um, Instead of running the query that we've written, we can just write some SQL in here just to get some things going. Some timer records, and let's copy some SQL. What happens if I do this internal thing? What do we get here? See if I build, let's do these. This needs a return, perhaps. Yeah, this needs a return statement. Now, now it got 0. Can I do this? let's do a different subquery. Let's get the we get the active runs. And this is what it's trying to do. We're trying to get all the runs. Um, this will give us all the active runs, right? Um, then we can say, let's get the timer ID from that, right? And then we can have a selector on that. Still getting 5. Oh, man. Which run records are we getting, I guess? Got 0. What? Uh, should be 1, should be 2 in there. What? 2, 3, 4 runs. 1, 2, 4 runs. Yes, those are all in there. How, how is this completed at? How is am I writing null wrong? Oh my god, there we go. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's what I was doing wrong. Um, it's is null, not equals null or equals. Here we can get try to get the timer ID. And select timer ID in this thing. So now let's see. Oh, we got a. Oh right, I'm trying to get timers again. That's why I got a decoding error. Ooh, I'm still in caps lock. There we go. Now do I have the ones I expect? Yes, they're in the wrong order, but they are the names that I expect. Make a set out of these. And will this force it to be a set literal? Yes. Nice. Okay. So we have our SQL query now. So let's copy this back over into our actual. Does this go? Where does this go? I guess this can go inside the fetch query. Or inside the fetch method. But then we need to return. Okay, so now our test can use actual query class again. Command U to run all the tests. Nice. Okay, so the database query, I guess, is complete. We can check that off. So I guess the next thing to do is use queries in the views. Go to our which put it database maybe in the screen folder. We have this timer grid string. Maybe needs a new name. And I suppose we have a few queries going on here. So this will be a active, what, active timers query. Active timers. We have ready ones. And I feel like problem here. Oh, right. It's a timer with the active run. I feel like maybe this needs a better name. This is a little abstract when it's really just a timer with an active run. Hmm. So so this can go away, and then we can pass active timers, ready timers. Record off of here. Edit this file. Then those are passed in. Those aren't computed. Oh, yeah, I want to add at least a type alias or something here, saying what was it? It was like active timers query.output. Kind of. Oh, and this needs the identifiable. So we will add that. Just use that timer record ID. Back and try to run it again. Cool. So now if we stop this timer, it jumps back over here. If we start it, it goes up to the front of the line. Like that could use a little bit of an animation or something, but yeah, pretty cool. I guess it's time to commit that. Oh, oh, the active section is empty. It should hide itself. I guess they should all do that. Or should there have like a little bit of a space there? Not sure. I feel like a ready timer, you want to tapping to start it, but tapping to stop it, that could happen by accident. And you end up with burnt toast or whatever. You want this? Should this be like a tab bar for like all separated ones? Let's hide these. Hide these. Nothing there. So now it's not just the color that differentiates it, or that the something's moving. It's also moved up to the actives. I think I like that. I'll have to actually try that in person. Um, I guess means I should. This is actually like somewhat cool. Um, Try to get this onto test flight for myself. Um, I guess some of these detail screens still need. Let's see, empty sections. Yeah, this timer grid screen is starting to become like the home screen, um, main screen we started to call it yesterday. Do a rename, rename failed. Let's do timer grid screen. It's only used in a few spots. Video quality is low. Oh, thanks so much for stopping by, and thanks for telling me. I don't really know how to fix that. Does anyone have any advice on fixing video quality? Um, I guess I'll have to look into that. Um, okay, yeah, I'll have to look at this off stream. Sorry about that, but thank you so much for letting me know so that I can go ahead and try to rename timer grid to main screen. See, I didn't realize we'd get this done so quickly today. So let's see what. I guess we could do some more detail screen stuff. Um, like I guess our run detail screen is very empty. We can actually create one. Yeah, so my pattern for folders is the name of the thing, then each folder uh, will have a screen in it with the name of the screen. I use simulator and back. Oh, cool. Try quitting it. So for now, I believe all I was doing was popping up the ID of the run for now. Um, and then in our route nav, we have our navigation routes, and inside there, um, here we're just showing for a run detail, we're just showing the ID of the run and nothing else. We can make it look like our other screen, which are wrapped in a loading view, which loads, say, a stopwatch by ID and provides it to a detail screen. That pattern has been working out pretty well for us so far, so I'd like to continue with that pattern. So I guess we'll need to make this run loading view, and I haven't figured out how to make it generic yet. Um, just been copy pasting for now. So you can see it takes an ID of the entity we want to load and also a content. And then if content loaded, then we yield the loaded entity to the content. What experience do you have in programming? Well, I've been programming professionally for 15 years and 10 years before that as an amateur. Um, oh, I don't have a. Oh, I see. I've programmed on the back end at the beginning of my career, JavaScript and Java and stuff like that. Um, and the past 8 or so years, I've been focusing on iOS, mobile development. Um, Current apps are on my website at fullqdeveloper.com if you want to see what published in the App Store that's currently active. And I guess for the apps that have server sides, I've also written the server components as well using Kubernetes and Docker and server side Swift, of course. Oh, thanks for asking. Let's see, it looks like I haven't written this query. Go ahead and make a query for loading a run by the ID. And this will be extension record. This will be query, and we'll use our helper, our optional query, since it's going to get something by ID. It's going to be there or not. It'll be initialized with the ID, record.id. Then for this, we just have to write the this is generified. Say we're going to return a run record, and then the query is super simple. Run record, filter, record at the ID column are named after the coding keys. Say that ID column should equal the key that we initialize this with, and we will fetch one out of the database. Did I learn SwiftUI or focus on Swift? Yes. Both are really fun. It seems like Apple keeps investing more and more into SwiftUI. Some of the new features that they've been putting out are only available for SwiftUI. They don't work with UIKit anymore. But you should do what feels best to you. Follow your interests. I guess that's what I'm doing here. I'm interested in having a better timer app for my cooking, and I'm interested in the latest Xcode beta. So this is a project that combines both of those interests. Are we compiling? Are. So then we run app, run the app. We click into one, we click into a past run. Okay, so now we're on have a working run details. We should probably put some more interesting stuff on here. Perhaps this will be a list of details. Um, different list style we have in iOS 6. Automatic inset grouped plain. Well, I guess we can try them all out, huh? So what details do we want to show here? Um, I guess maybe when it started at, when it completed at, the intended duration, how far it went over, still active, stuff like that, I guess. How much should I learn, asks Alex, before looking for a job? I don't know. I understand where you're coming from there, and I don't know the answer. Uh, I've been programming for such a long time. I have no idea how to advise you there. I mean, I'm still learning, right? I've been programming for 15 years just professionally, and there's new stuff keeps coming out to learn, um, which is exciting. Also, I don't know what to tell you for how much should you learn, because you can always learn one thing more. I'm curious what other folks think about this. Um, have kind of taught themselves more recently, started a job more recently, if they wish they had learned more or what. Let's get a code, but then you put it in twice on the same line. Quite as helpful. Let's get a preview going for the screen. This will be detail screen, previews, and create one with fixtures. Sure, let's go with an and oh, I guess we can make a few of these, right? Uh, and these need to go in. I found out recently that navigation view is actually deprecated. So I guess stick with live stuff. I'll stick these in navigation stacks. Then let's preview. What do you think about your own app to make money? Um, I hope so. um, I would love to make money just making the apps that I want to make. That's basically my dream. Um, hoping that like streaming will help move that forward. Hoping that yeah, that's hoping for. Um, see, oh, what else did we want to see? Um, we don't need a link to the timer because that should be just back button here. Um, oh yeah, the intended duration would be nice compared to the actual duration. Oh, I guess this can be a duration view. Do you use TDD? Sometimes for exploration stuff, I don't find it that interesting for like UI stuff, which is Swift's UI, a lot of exploration. But earlier on the screen, we were we had some tests for our database queries, which was super helpful. Um, we have an in-memory database that we load with our fixtures. We run our query, and then we assert that we got out what we were expecting to get. And that was super helpful for making sure that the queries were incorrectly. Um, Here's another one that's a little bit more in depth, converting a count up, a quick start stopwatch to a timer figure out once you're ready to convert it to a timer. Um, I guess stopwatches are the quick start button in the UI. At some point, maybe you realize how much you do want to cook for. You can convert it to a timer. There's a more in-depth test that tests that interaction. Well, not the interaction, the logic, what it tests. But for like a this screen that just it loads something and sends it to the content. There's not really all that much to test there. That feels more like a waste of time. Um, and I guess here, where I'm peeling stuff off the fields that already exist, um, but in general, I love I love TDD. TDD is really great for exploring logic. I don't find it useful to explore UI stuff unless the UI is using some logic to determine information or something. Then yeah, I could see a case for TDD in that case. So the actual duration. So I guess you could say that if there is a completed date, yeah, let's call it completed at run dot completed at. If it is complete, then we have an actual duration. We can say, oh, I guess again, this is a duration view. So then, let's see, have a we don't exactly have a. Let's see how I did it inside of here. Oh, I just have a duration since function. Perfect. Um, I guess this is a little bit of something I can put into. Well, let's write it first. The duration will be needed at. Um, oh, and I guess I haven't written this yet actually. So subtract a two dates and get a duration. Um, Where's my duration type? I can subtract durations. I can add durations. Um, I guess I want to create a maybe like a duration between two dates. Oh, and this will be actually a nice spot to. Oh, we have a test for duration stuff. Add a test in here. Space. We have a date. Um, and we can do maybe 10 minutes later. Where's that? Yeah, I think that's. Then we can say duration dot. Did I not call it uh, difference? I call it duration between. Um, I mean, we're doing math, so I'll call it difference. I already called duration. Tools. It should not even compile because there's nothing in here. Um, if return dot zero there, will it still fail that? Not expecting that. Oh, right, because we have. Yeah, we'll just comment this out right now inside of our view. Um, where we're about to use this method. Okay, so now I think we can run some tests. Waiting for Xcode here. Code. Test. Perfect. Okay, we got the failure we expected. Um, so how do we want to compare these dates? Wait, we have it? Did I write this already? Duration since? Oh my goodness. So, so perhaps it would be cool. And if we do it in verse, we can negative. So we do want to deal with negatives here. Okay, I didn't realize I had written that up. A nice surprise. So then I guess the duration is a repeated at the duration since started, I guess. I think I need like a better way to call it for showing hours or not. I keep writing this because if it's a time that doesn't show hours, I don't want to waste UI space on that. Then this becomes pretty verbose to look at. I am not a fan of it. Yeah, let's also write the needed at. I guess it is 3 o'clock. I need to turn soon. Um, yeah, looks like it was actually 4 minutes. Um, which means we can say like if we did overtime, I guess. um, and these should be separate sections. Hang on a second. Why is this collapsible here? Try moving this inside. Fascinating. My other sections didn't have a collapsible. Maybe it's because they weren't in a list. If I make this a D stack disappear, it does. Okay, so it must be a feature of the list. Um, yes, it is 3 o'clock. I do need to turn. Today we fixed our database query to separate the um, things, separate the active timers from the ready timers, and we did it by doing a subselect, getting all the running timers and their IDs, and then making sure that, and then saying any timer ID that's not in that set of timer IDs are the ready ones. Um, and we hooked up those queries to our views, and we're all set. And then we started working on the run detail screen, so we have a little bit more to show here. Continue to fill that in. I stream every day from 2 to 3 over my lunch break. Thank you so much for joining me. My website's below with links to my Twitter, my App Store links, and my YouTube. Um, Thank you so much for joining me and sharing some creative stuff. I'll see you tomorrow.